Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Tonight, the Tigers hope to continue their home field magic on a great night for baseball here in the Motor City. Welcome to Comerica Park. Game one in this series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad you're with us tonight for game one, and what hopefully will be a good series for the Tigers. And why not, Rod? This team playing really well at home, another walk-off win yesterday.
You know, I just love the energy that these guys play with in innings 7, 8, and 9. And the opposing teams, they know how well this team has been playing because this Tigers team has already had 4 walk-offs, and they always have quality at-bats late in games, and that's very important to get those W's.
All right, we've got a tough opponent here tonight. The Indians really haven't been playing all that well, but they are getting hot now. The top of their lineup is an awfully good, and Mike Fiers has his work cut out for him.
Well, led by Francisco Lindor, who is white hot right now with a 14-game hitting streak. You look at these numbers. These are May numbers. These are not season numbers. These are May numbers, but he's driven in 14. Brantley's hot again. He's driven in 17, and Jose Ramirez has been a Tiger killer. So Fiers has really got his work cut out for him. I spoke to James McCann today, and he says we're not going to focus on the strengths of the opposing team, but we're going to focus on Fiers' strengths. We're going to get that high fastball in the strike zone. He's got that fastball. He gets lots of swings and misses on it, and when he's not throwing that fastball at the top of the strike zone, he's going to mix in that split change, also that real good breaking ball. We're going to see that eephus curveball as well. High fastballs might get him a lot of pop-ups today against this really good lineup, so he's got his work cut out for him.
In other words, the whole kitchen sink.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Game one of the series just minutes away. After a short break, we'll send you down to the Coliseum Studios. And John Keating coming up tonight. Bark at the Park. We're celebrating Tigers baseball with our furry friends. Tigers Tribe coming up next.
tonight. Struck out 14 in a complete game win against the Brewers, and Carlos Carrasco gets the ball against the Tigers tonight, against whom he is 9-1 since June of 2015. A quick pop back into our Call Sam studio. It's Mike Fiers for Detroit, Carrasco for the Indians, and make of this what you will, but for whatever reason, Carrasco is much better on the road. 40-22 away from Cleveland with an ERA of 3.09, and in games at Progressive Field, he's 4 games under 500. Tigers and Indians just moments away, and as you look at some of the dogs of some of our crew members, I tell you the Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Jeep. Hurry into the Jeep celebration event and get a great deal today. Game time approaches on a perfect night downtown. A lot of folks have brought their dogs here to the ballpark. Mike Fiers on the hill for the Tigers, and he is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Yeah, Mike was pretty good in his last outing against the Texas Rangers. Got a W in that game. He's had about 4 outings against Cleveland in his career. 1 loss, and ERA very respectable, but going up against a really good offensive team here tonight.
And let's look at that good offensive team presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, a trio at the top, but it's awfully good. Encarnacion cleaning up, and Alonso and Kipnis, Gomes, Allen, Geyer rounding it out for Tito Francona here this evening on a tremendous night for baseball. Finally, some really good weather.
here in downtown Detroit, and we've got the Tribe in for 3.
And very important to try to keep these 3 guys off the base paths here in the very first inning. Win the first inning. That should be the goal of Mike Fiers here tonight. If you keep these 3 guys off the bases, it increases your chances in winning.
Here is Lindor to get things started. Francisco batting .321, 12 home runs already this year. Lindor has homered this season once against the Tigers. And he'll look at ball 2 outside.
Lindor is on a better pace as far as the home runs are concerned than he was last year. He hit 33 homers last year, which is a franchise record for shortstops, but already 12 this season.
That'll sail way outside. 3-0 now on Lindor. Well, it's been a great month of May, as it has been for many of the Indians. Lindor already with 8 home runs this month. That is the most in the major leagues.
A lot of guys don't have 8 homers on the year.
It's true. Here's the 3-0. And it's a strike called on Lindor. Fiers 2-1 with a 2.42 career against the Indians. Here's the 3-1. Lindor drills it way foul. Full count now on the Cleveland leadoff man. Michael Brantley waiting on deck. Indians, for as talented as their lineup is and their starting rotation is, they are 1 game over the 500 mark. Right back up the middle, but Iglesias is there, and Lindor is out, 1 away.
And let's take a peek in and see how the Tigers will line up defensively behind Mike Fiers this evening. Mikey Montook in left, Jacoby Jones in center, Nico Goodrum in right. All 3 of those guys had good days yesterday. And the injury bug bit the Tigers once again today at third base. Jeimer Candelario has landed on the disabled list.
Here is Michael Brantley batting in the 2 spot these days for the Indians, and that has worked out really well for them. He'll shoot that one in the air to left field, playable. Mikey Montook staring into the sunlight, 2 gone. There is Jeimer, who has been bothered by a wrist most of the season. The Tigers finally decided to put him on the DL today. Dawel Lugo was called up from AAA Toledo to replace him on the roster.
I think he's also scheduled to possibly have a cortisone shot to maybe ease the pain in that wrist.
I hear those are fun. Here's Ramirez. Did you ever have a cortisone shot in your playing days?
I have. Post days too. Post playing days, pre-post.
So
all the way around. Yeah.
You can attest that it's not much fun.
No, there's a big long needle, man. Big long needle. As a matter of fact, doctors don't even let you see the needle most of the time. That's how long it is. Yeah, they don't even let you see it.
1 ball, 1 strike on Ramirez. There's a bender that floats outside at 71 miles an hour.
We've already seen a couple of those really slow breaking balls that Fiers will feature on occasion. He threw several of those when he pitched against the Texas Rangers 5 days ago.
Driven to right field. That ball is hit deep, going to the track, going to the wall, and it's gone.
Dude, he just kills us, man.
Jose Ramirez, you're absolutely right, just hammers Tigers pitching. He is relentless.
How about where he hit that ball? That ball was up around his neck.
13th of the year.
They lead the majors in home runs with now 61. Here's that high fastball. James McCann told me they would go up there, but take a look at Ramirez climb the ladder and get on top of that ball and hit it out for the 13th home run of the season. Most guys love the ball down if they're left-handed, but Ramirez is different. He can go to the top of the strike zone and the bottom of the strike zone.
Early 1-0 lead for the Tribe on the Ramirez home run.
Get these numbers on Ramirez in his career against the Tigers. Already 41 RBIs, now 12 home runs in just 55 games.
Whoa. Yeah, that is massive production. Here's the 0-1.
I was reading an article where they were talking about Ramirez, and few people realized that over the last couple of years, he's got the 5th best WAR in all of baseball.
He is a really good player. He's an outstanding two-way player. He's a good hitter, switch hitter. And it's not just the Tigers that he does all that damage against either. He does all that damage against everybody in baseball.
Encarnacion batting at only .204, but he has 21 RBIs, 9 home runs. He started slowly last year as well when he joined the Indians. Started slowly in the month of April this year. But when it's all said and done, he's usually better than 30 homers.
That's right.
Fires ready with the 2-2. Slice to right field, foul.
You can really look at since Terry Francona has been the manager of the Cleveland Indians, they never really ever get off to good starts. But they always seem to be playing their best baseball in August and September. At least that's the way it's been in his first years as their manager. They had 22 wins in a row last year in August.
Again, the 2-2, and it drilled to left field. Matuk is moving over, still going back. He'll run it down. A run in on the Ramirez home run. Nothing lead as we go to the bottom of the first inning, and here's the Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Matuk, Cosma, and Vimart in your top 3 spots. Castellanos is still out. McCann, the catcher. Hicks at first. Jacoby in center. Gooderham back out there. Had a big day yesterday. Then Iglesias and Machado. Carlos Carrasco tonight presented by MGM Grand Detroit.
Carlos is a pretty good pitcher. He checks in with 5 wins already. He's only lost 1. The ERA sits just over 3.5. Power fastball 96, 97. He's got a really good slider and a wipeout changeup. Lloyd McClendon told me before the game today the Tigers need to lay off the slider and the changeup and hunt his fastball.
Mikey looks at a strike. Well, there's the fastball at 95 right down the middle.
Because once he gets ahead of you, that's when he goes to his secondary pitches, and he gets lots of swings and misses on all of his secondary stuff. His stuff is pretty good.
Ground ball hit to short. Lindor 2 steps to his right, and Mikey is out of there. 1 gone.
Let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. In the in the outfield, they've got Brantley, Allen, and Geyer. The infield reads Ramirez, Lindor, Kipnis, Alonso, and Yan Gomes is the catcher. Francisco Lindor at shortstop has already committed 8 errors this season, but Terry Francona, his manager, said he's not concerned with his superstar shortstop.
Yeah, I don't think I would be either. I mean, it's probably one of those things that has materialized early on this season, but we know how talented he can be at that position. Cosmo fouls it back.
Cosman, the 2 spot again tonight. 2 out of 8 in the series, just completed against Seattle.
Yeah, Lloyd McClendon was saying today that very seldom does Cookie Carrasco throw his slider or changeup in the strike zone. So it's imperative for his guys to fight, to try to lay off those pitches today to give themselves a chance at hitting fastballs.
That ball driven to right field, slicing though. When you face guys that have really good sliders, I mean, how is it more difficult to pick up the spin on that pitch, or is it just that it's so dominating, even if you know it's coming, you can't hit it?
Well, most guys that have those really good sliders, Mario, they also have really good fastballs, and he has a good fastball. So you have to cheat to get to the fastball because the velocity is 95, 96. And then when he throws that slider, it looks like a fastball coming out of his hand, and you see fastball.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, because he's released it differently, there's a little spin and there's a little cut and bite, and you take your swing, and that's when the ball died, just like that.
Ooh.
Perfect example. First 2 pitches were 95. So if you're Cosma, now you're looking for 95 again because the first 2 pitches were mid-90s. Then all of a sudden he throws you this slider and it looks like a fastball, and then it's 10-mile-per-hour differential. You can't tell that he's released it differently.
Well, that thing was deadly right there.
He is a really good pitcher.
So with 2 outs here is Victor Martinez. Tigers these days have had to do business without Miggy, without Martin, although Leonis said before the game that he should be good to go when he comes off the DL in Seattle. Nick on the bench again tonight after being hit in the hand.
I believe Mickey could have come off the disabled list tomorrow, but I think he's going to need a few more days.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll get back soon. V-Mart, in the meantime, has been pushed up to 3rd in the lineup, DHing again tonight. Sends a ground ball up the middle. Cut off there by Ramirez, and they'll throw him out to end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Good night for baseball here in the Motor City. The Tigers and the Tribe in the first of 3. Yonder Alonso leads it off for Cleveland as we go to the 2nd.
Yonder already has 9 homers, hit a career high 28 homers last season in a career year. Made an all-star team, his first all-star team.
And you know where he hits his home runs, don't you?
Where'd he hit him?
Out yonder.
It's all good. It's early. You can still recover.
It can only get worse.
You can recover.
266 last year, 28 home runs. That was a breakout year for Alonso.
Signed a 2-year contract. They basically signed him to replace Jay Bruce, who they traded for last year, and Jay Bruce was instrumental for Cleveland's second half of the season. But now Jay Bruce is back with the New York Metropolitans.
They also lost Carlos Santana in the offseason as well.
And they lost a couple of pitchers too, Brian Shaw and Joe Smith. No one talks about Joe Smith, but Joe Smith was big out of their bullpen last year along with Brian Shaw.
The Cleveland pen this year has struggled. And when you look at the fact that their starters throw a lot of innings and they really carry the load most of the night, it's still been a struggle for Terry Francona to find some consistency out of the pen.
Well, they found out just how valuable Andrew Miller is when he went on the disabled list for about 14 days. They really struggled in that bullpen.
2-2 on Alonso. Kipnis and then Gomes to follow here in the second. 1-0 on the Ramirez home run.
And we'll see if Mike goes upstairs with that good fastball about 89 miles an hour. Looks like they're going to go change up.
Popped up left side, long run for Iglesias, still coming to foul ground. That's Cosma actually who made that play. It's a long run. Nice job. Hey, as you enjoy it, Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game. One gone now for Kipnis. What's going on here? What do you got on these mustaches here, right?
They're fake.
That's all you got, huh?
They're fake. That's what I got on them.
Here's Kipnis. Ball one. Kipnis down in the lineup these days. He used to bat second. He's batting sixth now. It's really been a curious couple of seasons for Kipnis when you consider a couple of years ago he was a 300 hitter, but he's not been able to find his stroke the last couple of years.
Well, he basically lost his second base job last year to Jose Ramirez down the stretch. Ramirez was playing second base, and had Kipnis not adopted so well to playing the outfield, he would have not made the postseason roster, I don't think.
Yeah, they had him in center field.
Yep. And then he came to spring training this year, and then he re-won his job at second base again. Had a great spring.
Fires now with the 2-1. Pulled on the ground, foul. 2-2 on Kipnis.
Had a nice conversation with James McCann today, and he says just because you're going up against a lineup like guys like Lindor and Ramirez and Brantley, the first three hitters who are real hot right now, he says you really have to still stay with your strengths if you're Mike Fiers.
High fly ball hit to right field, hit pretty good. It's going to go to the warning track and caught there by Goodrum.
And Fiers' strength is the fastball up at the top of the zone at about 88 to 91 miles an hour. He's got nice spin rate on it, and he really disguises it well. And he gets swings and misses on it, even though the velocity is not real high.
He described himself, Mike did, when we had him on in Texas. We put a microphone or a headset on him during one of the innings in Texas, and he said, you know, I don't throw 95 to 97, but I still consider myself a power pitcher.
Yeah, because he gets swings and misses. Really hides the baseball well. Keeps it in the glove to the last possible second.
Strike one on Yan Gomes. Fiers would like to stick around games a little bit longer. He has not thrown more than 90 pitches in any start this year. And you compare that with a lot of guys on the Tribe staff. Those guys are going well over 100.
Yeah.
And so the Tigers and Ron Gardenhire have had to dip into the bullpen.
The Tribe, they've already had at least 10 starts this year where their starting pitcher threw at least 110 pitches.
High towering fly ball left center field. He'll stay in the ballpark for Jacoby Jones, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Fiers here in the second. James McCann will get things started for the Tigers in the bottom half of the inning. Want to play with a pro? Now's your chance to play with an LPGA player at the Volvic LPGA Championship Wednesday, May 23rd in Ann Arbor. If you'd like more details or if you'd like to enter for your chance to win, go to foxsportsdetroit.com for more information.
Thank you, guys. You guys do a great job.
Bark at the park. Those guys are pooped, it looks like.
Probably wondering, where am I?
Here's McCann. Macfin, Hicks, and then Jones here against Carrasco. Had a 1-2-3 first. Ball one high. Heater at 96 from Carrasco.
Carrasco pretty much sits at 96 with his heater. Every now and then he'll go up to about 98. He's already thrown 2 complete games this season, one of those against the Tigers.
2-0. It's always that balance, I think. And you know, you want to protect your bullpen, but you also want to protect the numbers for your starters, and especially early in the season, guarding against, you know, high pitch counts and a lot of innings. When you got a guy that's been so dominant, that's fouled away 2-1.
Well, Terry Francona's an old school guy, old school manager as well. And then when you add in the fact that his bullpen has struggled so much this year, that's why so many of his starters have been forced into going well over 100 pitches this season.
Now, when you go back to the 60s and 70s, they just laugh at the 100 pitch count.
Right.
Here's the 2-1. Mac looks at the ball low, 3-1.
110 pitches plus in 3 of his starts this year.
Tigers do not have a starter yet that has gone 110 or more. The 3-1. Well, McCann had his 10-game hitting streak come to an end yesterday, but it was a really good stretch for the Tigers catcher. His career high in hitting streaks is 14, so he'll try and start a new one here tonight. Way outside, ball 4, and McCann gets a leadoff walk. And it'll bring up John Hicks, and time out for the Lowe's whole team together. One of the 4 walk-offs the Tigers have had this year. Machado had one. Jacoby. Hicks, of course, did it with his bunt.
Yes, he did.
And then Iggy yesterday, the 4th walk-off win for the Tigers.
That'll miss inside, back him out of there 1-0.
And more than likely, John Hicks is going to get a fastball right here from Carrasco. It's going to be in the mid-90s. You don't want to miss it if you get it. Hicks, good fastball hitter, too.
Chopped to second, could be two. Oh, it's bobbled instead. And they will get the force at second. Great play by Lindor. Kipnis had a sure double play jump up on him, and Lindor tagged the bag for the out.
Ball jumped right off the heel of the glove, but there was Lindor alertly able to pick that ball up with the glove and also keep that right foot on the base. At least it appears that he was able to do that. Ron Gardenhire and his staff, they took a long look at it, but they've decided not to challenge.
One-on-one out here is Jacoby Jones. Sliced out of play.
How about that at bat that Jacoby Jones had yesterday in the bottom half of the ninth inning against Nicasio? 8 pitches before getting that infield single. And of course, he came all the way around to score the winning run. Terrific at bat. He and both Nico Goodrum had great at bats in the ninth.
I think, Rod, it really kind of highlights the way this team has played this year. I mean, to that point, Jacoby was 0 for 3, and he got the winning rally started. You know, these guys just continue to battle. They're not really concerned about the fact they don't have Miggy or Castellanos or now Candelario.
And they don't care who they're going up against either.
No. Paxton's pretty good, and they got him a little bit. Jacoby goes down on strikes, chasing that breaking ball. Second strikeout now for Carrasco. It'll bring up Nico. Nasty.
It is nasty. He's got great stuff. I mean, he's got 3 above average pitches. The fastball, 96 to 98. That wipeout slider. He's got a good changeup too. Yan Gomes behind the plate is outstanding as well. Every time he's behind the plate, his pitchers, they get more strikes than they normally get because he's so great with his glove.
You know, we got that stat before the game where Gomes is the best in baseball at inducing strikes. Now, would you have guessed he would have been number 1?
I knew he was up around the top, but I didn't know he was number 1. I know he's always been really known for being a really good receiver, a really good game caller. He can throw the baseball as well, and he can really handle that glove. He can really frame pitches.
2-1 on Nico. Goodrum yesterday singled in the 3rd and then homered in the 5th against Paxton, who had just come off throwing a no-hitter for Seattle.
Nico had some great at-bats yesterday.
Wave and a miss now. 2-2 on Goodrum.
Here's that last pitch. It's a 2-seamer. I thought it was a changeup, but that's a 2-seamer. Man, he's got that baseball dancing, doesn't he?
It was a great shot of the late movement on that pitch. Goodrum stays alive. He is filling in for Castellanos again to right field today. Nick is hopeful that he may be able to pinch hit in the game and hopefully get back in the lineup tomorrow. Excellent souvenir for the young man who brought his glove. But there's always the sibling.
I'm sure somebody will get him a baseball, though.
Little chopper right side of the infield. Here's Kipnis. And that'll end the inning. No runs, leadoff walk. 1 man left.
But every other out made today has been made in the air. Lots of soft contact for the most part against Mike Fiers on a variety of different pitches, whether it be the fastball, that split change, or his curveball. So far, nice job by Mike.
He will go back to work here in the third, and Greg Allen leads it off. 5 fly ball outs early on here for Fiers. Allen, Geyer, Lindor. One ball, one strike. Allen 2 out of 17 this year after coming up from AAA. He was batting .260 at Columbus. Little chopper. It'll get by the pitcher. Iglesias barehanding, can't make the play. Be an infield hit.
And do or die play for Jose Iglesias. Allen, pretty good speed running down the line. Iggy knows that. He tried to come in and barehanded and just not able to grab the baseball and right off the fingertips.
It'll bring up Brandon Geyer. Second hit of the game now for the Indians. Allen in the minor leagues stole a lot of bases. Keep an eye on him. Draws a throw. Showing bunt, and it's bunted foul. Geyer, it's no surprise they're trying to bunt. This year against right-handed pitching, he's 1 for 24.
Ooh.
Tried to advance the runner there.
No, last year he played pretty well for them after they got him from Tampa. He pretty much got most of his at-bats against left-handed pitching. And he did well for them. But apparently this season it has been a slow start for Geyer.
164 overall for Geyer. Into shallow center field, and Jones runs it down.
I want to talk about Francisco Lindor right now, who's on a 14-game hitting streak. Got off to a slow start this year, but he's really been keeping his hands inside the baseball very well. Whether batting left-handed or right-handed, that's all he's concentrating on right now. Hands inside the baseball. And we're going to show you a split screen that gives you a really good look at it. And that's why he's been able to get that batting average up, Mario. He hit 33 home runs last year. And when he came into the season this year, he was trying to hit 33 home runs on opening day, and he really struggled pulling everything. But now he's back on track and performing the way that he's capable of performing.
What do they usually say about guys that try to hit home runs?
You don't usually connect.
Yeah. No. Home runs more happen than when you try to hit them.
Ty Van Berkeley is the hitting coach, and he's been with Terry Francona for the last 6 years. And so he knows Lindor is swing as well as anybody. Ty Van Berkeley does nice work.
Allen drawing another throw. Lindor bounced out in the first inning to start the game. 14-game hitting streak for Lindor. Little high.
It's a nice job by Lindor laying off that fastball up in the zone. Fiers thought he had a strike there. Gabe Morales is the home plate umpire.
Brantley waiting on deck. Indians got a run in the first on the Jose Ramirez home run. Swing and a miss.
There's that fastball, only at about 88 miles an hour, but he gets lots of swings and misses on it. If you watch Fiers' glove when he's in his delivery, this is the deception that we talk about. He keeps the ball in the glove until the last possible minute. Then all of a sudden he starts with his glove first. Then all of a sudden that ball comes out of nowhere, and that's why there is some deception in his windup.
Mike started the year with back problems, had to stay back in spring training, and then made that really good start his first time out against the White Sox. 6 innings, no runs, 6 strikeouts. Runner bluffing, and a strike called on Lindor.
Here's one look at that delivery. Focus on the glove here for me. I talked about the fact that he keeps the ball in the glove a long time, but look and see when that glove comes first. Watch the glove. The glove comes out, keep going, and it gets out there. Then all of a sudden the ball comes right out from the glove, and that's where the deception comes in with Mike Fiers. How else can you explain that many swings and misses with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball?
Yeah, it's hard to do. Swing and a miss up top. Lindor goes down swinging.
It's a nice job there of just sticking with your strength. Lindor did a nice job of laying off the first fastball up, but Fiers just kept going up there until he finally got the strikeout. He laid off one, but he couldn't lay off the other ones.
Here's Brantley with 2 outs. That is the first strikeout for Fiers in this game.
Michael Brantley's back, Mario.
Yes, he is. He's battled so many injuries the last couple of years, but this guy is one of the best left-handed bats in the league, and he is showing it once again.
He's got a really quiet approach. He very seldom leaves the strike zone. You really have to make quality pitches to Brantley to get him out.
Since they moved him to the 2 spot in the lineup, .429 batting second this year.
It would have been 3 games over the weekend.
Yeah, over the weekend. Kipnis dropped down. It's funny with all the talent they've had in their lineup. Yes, they did miss Brantley, but they had other guys pick up the pace while he was out. But boy, when he comes back and shows you what he can do. He'll drive that one toward right center field. It'll get down a base hit. Allen is on his way to third. He is in standing up. Brantley with a 2-out single. First and third now for the Indians.
Well, this is the last guy you wanted to see coming to the plate, and that would be Jose Ramirez. He is already homered in this contest. He took a fastball at the top of the strike zone and hit it out at 91, so he was looking up top. Are you a believer yet of Mr. Ramirez?
Oh, yeah. He made me a believer last year.
My goodness.
But it took a bit. I mean, he was a decent minor league player, but since coming to the major leagues, he is raked. I know you and I have talked about this in the past, how Lindor gets a whole lot more of the accolades.
Right.
He was the #1 pick, Lindor was. And came to the big leagues with much fanfare. And, well, Ramirez, you can put his numbers up against anybody.
Yeah, Ramirez had to switch positions because Lindor came on the scene and took over the shortstop position. He's played second, he's played some outfield, he's played third, and all he has done every step of the way is hit.
Strike called on the outer edge, now 0-2, and Ramirez didn't like it. A pained look on his face. That sails outside. Jose, born in the Dominican Republic, major league ranks since 2016. You can see he's up there in quite a few of those. And Jose, one of those guys in the offseason, goes back to his hometown of Bani in the Dominican Republic and gives back to the kids there. That's sliced in the air toward left center field. It's going to be playable. Who wants it? Jacoby does. That'll end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. Yesterday's hero will get it started for the Tigers, Iglesias.
3 more home runs in this game. Bring a copy of the box to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Free small order of curly fries will be yours. Here is Iglesias to get things started against Carlos Carrasco. Iglesias, Machado, and Matuk. Ball one high. The Bernstein advantage tonight belongs to Mr. Iglesias against Carrasco. Not too many guys with good numbers against him, but Iggy one of them.
On base percentage against Carrasco, over 400 for Iglesias.
Now, I assume that's why you selected him and picked the stick.
Yeah, that's the main reason why I took him today. And it was kind of slim pickings today, to be honest with you. I picked 5th. Just about everybody else was gone.
And with all the injuries the Tigers are dealing with. Here's the 1-1 now to Iglesias. That'll miss inside, 2-1. Iggy's 3rd walk-off hit, providing the game winner on Mother's Day.
Get out.
Place to center and a base hit for Iglesias. So he is on with a leadoff single here in the 3rd. Time for a Jeep game break now, and here's Trevor Thompson.
Well, guys, you already mentioned it. Jeimer Candelaria went on the disabled list today. Miguel Cabrera already on there. Jordan Zimmerman already on there. Leonis Martin already on there. And because of all these guys on the DL, 6 guys in the last 10 days have been called up from Toledo, with Duel Lugo being the latest today. And inside that clubhouse, nobody's hanging their head. In fact, they're rallying around one another. Without some of those big sticks in the lineup, they're not waiting around for someone else to do it. They all realize they can be the player that impacts today's game. So there's a lot of unity inside that room right now, a lot of positivity, guys, and it's really fun to not only see inside the room, but to see it displayed on the field as well.
Well, I guess all these injuries does provide, Trev, opportunity for a lot of guys, and Rod, they've certainly been taken advantage of.
You know, Ron Gardner said, you know, we are dealing with a lot of injuries, but we'll take the best players that we have and we'll put them on the field and they'll do a good job. They're big league players, he said. You know, some of them may not have as big a names as some of the other guys in baseball, but they are big league players.
A couple of guys on the shelf right now, Castellanos and Wilson to his left is on the DL. The 1-0 to Machado, swing and a miss. Dixon with a modest 4-game hitting streak. But 4 out of 10 in that just completed series against Seattle. Dixon had some nice at-bats against Paxton yesterday, too. Man. That is a tough pitch. 1-2.
Well, you got to hit a fastball against Carrasco. He will throw that fastball about 60% of the time. But you got to be ready for it, because if you're not ready for it, you're going to get an assortment of breaking balls, especially when he's able to get ahead of you.
Runner goes. Ground ball foul.
Too bad. Iggy had that bag stolen.
Matuk will be next. Tigers a leadoff single here from Iglesias, down by a run. Carrasco in his last start punched out 14 Milwaukee Brewers in a complete game win.
Dude, there are so many pitchers these days striking out 13, 14, 15, 16 batters a night. Every night somebody's punching out 15.
That's how the game seems to be going, though. I mean, there are a lot of strikeouts where, I guess in the past, hitters did not want to strike out. They wanted to put the ball in play.
Right.
Here are some of the particulars on that Wednesday start in Milwaukee.
24-31 in first pitch strikes with 23 swings and misses.
And throwing that breaking ball for strikes, 79%. 2-2 on Machado. Iglesias 4 steals this year, 4 out of 6 attempts. Just got a hold of that bender that stayed inside and fouled it off.
Well, if you're Jose at first base and you do have the green light, you may as well go ahead and try to steal another base. Yan Gomes can really throw behind the dish, but if you pick out a good breaking ball that Carrasco throws up there, it should make it a little easier for you to steal that bag.
Yan Gomes last year led the American League at 40%.
A little bit of a modest lead right now for Iggy. If you're going to steal that base, you got to get out there around 10 feet, 11 feet to really give yourself a good chance of swiping the bag. There you go. It's good to see Iglesias stealing some bases successfully, Mario. He's always had good speed running down the line, gets lots of infield singles, but stolen bases have never really been part of his game.
Runner goes, and a foul ball. Yeah, I agree. I mean, over the last couple of years, the Tigers really didn't have too many guys that could run, but this guy was one of them.
Yeah, I remember, I think that first year we got Jose Iglesias, he led the American League with like 33 infield singles, or right around that number, but he didn't steal many bases. He's always had good speed. I think the difference is Ron Gardner. He's just turned a lot of these guys loose. Go.
Agreed.
Run.
Yep.
Run until I stop you.
And I think a lot of that has to do as well with the makeup of the roster now. But Gardy certainly has had a huge influence on that. Holding this time, slice to center, base hit. So the Tigers from the bottom of their lineup get back-to-back singles. 2 on, nobody out.
That was a really good at-bat by Dixon Machado. Cookie Carrasco was able to get ahead of him with fastballs and breaking balls. Then he finally hung him one. And he hung it and hit it right back up the middle. Real patient at-bat by Dixon.
Season best 5-game hitting streak now for Machado.
Dixon Machado saw 8 pitches before getting that base hit, and 7 of the 8 were off-speed pitches. Here's where you got to push a run across the board somehow, some way against a really good pitcher.
Matuk grounded out his first time up. And Mikey looks at ball 1, a bender outside.
I believe it was the 3rd inning yesterday when they finally got to James Paxton with a Goodrum single, a Machado single, a Matuk single. Right center field is wide open should Mikey Matuk want to go in that direction. They'll run forever.
In there, a strike called. Well, in each of his last 12 starts against the Tigers, Carrasco has allowed no more than 2 earned runs in any of those 12 starts. I mean, he's a guy that the Tigers really have not been able to solve, but they have an opportunity here in the 3rd. Chop to the shortstop. Lindor fires to second. They'll get 1, and that's it. Fielder's choice leaves runners at 1st and 3rd. Well, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Made available by Oakland University. Here's Pete Kozma now. Getting thirsty on Bark at the Park night. Well,
trying to open it up
for him. Open it. There you go. Here's Cosmo now with runners at first and third, and a swing and a miss.
And Carrasco will, like a lot of the pitchers in the big leagues these days that have good off-speed stuff, when runners are in scoring position, they will simply go to that breaking ball quite often. That first pitch to Peter Cosmo was a breaking ball.
Opponents this year just 135 against the slider of Carrasco. The 0-1. Didn't bite on that one. Cosmo struck out in the first.
Here's a sac fly probability. That green line, if it goes that deep, you pretty much can come home. Those are rated by the guy's arms in the outfield. Where it's red there, that's too shallow for you to tag up. And in between, it's kind of that gray area, just kind of depending on whether the fielder is backing up or different situations.
Runner breaks from first. Here's the throw down to second, and the tag not in time.
I love that.
And that'll leave runners at second and third. A steal for Mikey.
That's the second one for Mikey since he's come back. Got a great jump. Carrasco has forgotten about the Tigers that have been on first base. Iglesias tried to steal a couple of bases himself. It's a nice jump by Ma. Took real nice slide to the outside of the bag and not giving Kipnis a whole lot to tag there.
Now a base hit scores a couple. 2-1 on Cosmo.
Or a ground ball right back up the middle would score at least one run.
Went around, strike call, 2-2. Iglesias got it started with a single, then Machado a base hit. Machado forced it second. Here's the 2-2. Chop foul.
He hung that breaking ball right there. Peter had a pretty good pitch to hit right there, kind of kicking himself. A guy like Carrasco doesn't hang many.
He's hung a couple of them in this inning. This I'm not sure about here. Little die job there for those two little guys. Inside, fill the count now 3-2. So they are making Carrasco work in this inning. He is up to 45 pitches for the game.
And pretty much against a right-hander, Carrasco throws a fastball 71% of the time in a 3-2 count. But when a runner in scoring position, he might just try to get another swing and miss with a slider. He might not want to throw Cosmo a fastball, knowing that Cosmo will put that fastball in play.
Popped up foul back out of play. Came in with the heater that time.
Yeah, that's where the scouting reports come in handy. You know, the numbers I have tell me 71% of the time in that count, he'll throw you a fastball. But there's that other 29%.
3-2. Just got a piece of it, staying alive. Another fastball at 96.
If you're wondering about the arms in the outfield for the Tribe, Brantley in the outfield in left field, you can challenge him, you can run on him. His arm is just a tad below average, but he's very accurate with his throws. Allen in center field has an average arm, average accuracy as well, and Geyer the same.
Meanwhile, Cosmo is putting together a pretty good at bat, trying to finish it off here. And a chopper to third base. They'll take the out at first. Cosmo drives in the run.
Great job there, coming on contact. Great break by Iglesias on third base, and that's the reason why Ramirez had no play at home. That's called the contact play, people. As soon as the ball goes down in the ground, look at Iglesias. He's off and running, and that's the difference in him making it home safely. If he hesitates for just one moment, then he doesn't score there.
RBI for Cosma. That is his 5th since joining the big club. 1-1 ball game now. 2 outs for Victor. Martinez 0 for 1 with the ground out. Runner at second. They can't shift as they normally do against Martinez. Ball 1.
Yeah, the next pitch that Carrasco throws will be pitch number 50 here in the 3rd inning. So the Tigers have had some good at-bats against him. They were doing exactly as Lloyd McClendon wanted his team to do. Try to lay off those breaking balls, get yourself in fastball counts.
117 in his last start, 113 the start before that for Carrasco.
Well, he's been throwing a lot of pitches.
That'll sail high, 2-0.
And now they're just going to put Victor on base since he didn't swing at the first 2 pitches that were out of the strike zone. Carl Willis, and the new pitching coach for Terry Francona, going to make a stroll out to the mound. Carl's a former Tiger. He was on that '84 Tigers team.
He was.
Yeah.
First mound visit of the evening now for the Tribe.
He's also been a pitching coach in Boston. When Terry Francona was in Boston, he was his pitching coach. Mickey Callaway. And Terry Francona's pitching coach the last number of years now, managing the New York Mets.
It'll give Carrasco a bit of a breather as well. Tigers have tied it up now, trying to take the lead. James McCann stepping in. Mack had a base on balls in the 2nd. Two out of 11 in the series just completed against the Seattle Mariners. Ooh, fouled off, 0-1.
James went up there hunting that fastball. And he got it. Now he's going to have to hit that slider. Carrasco hasn't thrown many changeups today. Reason for that, the Tigers don't have that many left-handed bats in the lineup today. You got Nico Goodrum and you got Victor Martinez swinging the bat left-handed today against the right-hander.
Now Carrasco about to throw his 28th pitch in this inning, which would tie a season high in any inning. So the Tigers have made him stress a bit here in the 3rd. Yep. Just like you said, now you got to hit the slider.
Right.
And now it's 0-2.
The fastball and his slider are pretty much identical. You just can't tell when the ball comes out of his hand, and it pretty much stays on the same plane as the fastball until maybe the last 2 or 3 feet before it gets to that plate, and that's when it starts to break away from the right-handed batter.
Good block there by Gomes.
Excellent block.
So now we're up to 29 for Carrasco, the most that he has thrown in any inning this year.
And you really have to love the at-bats the Tigers hitters have had the last couple of days. Yesterday they went up against James Paxton, who was fresh off of throwing a no-hitter, and they really battled him yesterday, and they're having some better at-bats today against Cookie Carrasco. Some of their better at-bats I can remember against him in recent memory.
Got him, strike 3 in the outside corner. McCann didn't like it. 3rd strikeout of the game for Carrasco. Tigers will tie it, but they strand 2 on a close strike 3 call. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
Took a chance. I never had a chance to ask.
When you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Well, the Tigers have scratched across the run. It's a 1-1 ball game now as Mike Fiers goes back to the hill. Edwin Encarnacion leads it off, and he shows bunt, takes strike one.
Yeah, very important for when Mike Fiers gets his team back in the dugout. The score is still tied at 1. That's one of the things that Ron Gardenhire mentioned that he would love to see his team do a little bit better job of. Is that's when they score, the pitchers go out there and shut down the opposing team.
Alonso, then Kipnis to follow as Fiers misses low and away. It was a 30-pitch inning for Carrasco. Here's Castellanos. Who knows? You may see him pinch hit tonight.
At least he can hold a bat here tonight.
It's good news.
And his hand is not wrapped as it was yesterday.
Anytime you get hit in the hand, and fortunately for Castellanos, it was changeup, right?
Yes, he got lucky.
He got lucky because the fastball might have done more damage.
And Robinson Cano wasn't as lucky yesterday. He's going to be out for a while.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2 on Encarnacion. Flight out to left field in the first inning. The Indians got a run in the Ramirez 2-out solo shot. In there, strike called, got him looking. Encarnacion could not pull the trigger. That is the second Fiers strikeout.
Apparently that's not what Encarnacion was looking for. That split change.
Here is Yonder Alonso. Pop straight up. Middle of the infield. It's going to be Iglesias. Finally falls into his glove. 2 gone. That'll bring up Jason Kipnis. Kipnis a fly ball to right field. That was back in the second. Tigers this year played a lot of one-run games. They've played 16 of them. Only Tampa has played more one-run games this year.
Pretty good record in the 16 one-run games. 8-8, 500 record. That's not bad for a young squad.
We'll take that. One ball and one strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It'll sail outside. That one again at 71 miles an hour.
That's under the speed limit.
Two and one. Where do you drive? Speed limit 70. You drive with the Autobahn, maybe.
You ever gotten on that lodge? Do you? Man, I'm like, these people ain't no joke.
You ever get on the lodge?
Flying down the freeway.
You spend your time in the right lane, don't you, man?
Well, because I don't want to get in that left lane because they keep pushing me out of that lane. On my bumper.
2-2 is hit in the air. Left center field. It's going to be Jones coming in and fires a quick 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. We'll check in to see how Bark at the Park is going when we come back. you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. We're looking at some of the pets from our crew here at Fox Sports Detroit, enjoying Bark at the Park night. Carlos Carrasco back to work after a very lengthy and stressful third. He threw 30 pitches. He's got Hicks, Jones, Goodrum in a 1-1 ball game. It'll sail outside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Hicks, who reached on a fielder's choice in his first at bat. Carrasco last year had a big year, was 18-6 at 3.29 ERA. He was healthy enough last year to throw 200 innings for the Tribe, and that was the first time in his career he reached that plateau.
And they have Corey Kluber, who was outstanding, who won again yesterday. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball, winning a Cy Young for the 2nd time last season. But Carrasco, he's not far behind Corey Kluber.
Driven to right field on a line, and that's going to get by the right fielder Geyer to the wall. Extra bases, Hicks on his way to second, and a leadoff double.
John Hicks is an outstanding fastball hitter. John Hicks knew he was going to get that fastball from Carrasco in the 2-1 count. It's at 94 miles an hour. He tried to sneak it back to the outside corner, and John Hicks wasn't having any of that. John Hicks was busting it out of the batter's box. So when he got to second, he was entertaining the thought of going for 3, but he thought better of it. And Jacoby Jones has got a job to do right here. Against a good pitcher like Carrasco, you got to make sure you play the game the right way. Runner on second base, nobody out. If you don't drive him in, if you're Jacoby, you at least have to get him over to third base with the 1 out.
Showing bunt, spins away from ball 1.
Do it any way you can. A lot of fun up here yesterday with Mary Jones, Jacoby's mom, on Mother's Day.
I think she had a lot of fun too.
Yeah, she had a great day yesterday. She was all decked out in her pink from head to toe.
And her son started the winning rally. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Snap throw back down to second. That was a strike called on Jones, who is having a chat now with Gabe Morales. Gabe says yes, it was a strike.
Yan Gomes likes to throw to the bases as much as Salvador Perez does of the Kansas City Royals. As a base runner, you always have to be aware of that fact. He'll try to pick you off. You always have to be on your toes.
Grounded foul, 1-2 now on Jones.
If you're Jacoby, you really have to fight here to try to make sure you can hit a ground ball through the hole on the right side of the infield, or hit a ground ball to the first baseman or the second baseman. However, if you go to Alonso here, if you're Hicks on second base and you're going to third, you might want to be careful, especially if the ball's hit sharply at Alonso. He might just try to throw that ball over to third, and Alonso's a good defender.
High fly ball left center field. Allen camps under it. Tag is made, but Hicks will go back and is not able to advance. 1 gone. It'll bring up Nico Goodrum. Nico is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Three-hit day yesterday for Nico. 3 for 4, as a matter of fact. He came into this game 6 for his last 13.
Ooh.
High towering drive right field. That ball is hit well. Going to the track, going to the wall, and it's gone. Nico Goodrum with a 2-run shot, and the Tigers take the lead.
Look out, Nico. I see you. Nico got his big boy pants on, partner, last couple days.
That was sitting on a tee at 94.
Fastball at 94. He lifted and separated over the out-of-town scoreboard. Over the bit sign.
Homer number 3 on the year for Goodrum. And Nico continues to do sparkling work filling in for Nick Castellanos. (3-1), Tigers have the lead. He has homered in back-to-back games, and against a couple of pretty good pitchers.
That's right.
Paxton and Carrasco. 2-0. Iggy had a single which started the rally back in the third, started that 30-pitch inning for Carrasco. We mentioned that in the last 12 starts that Carrasco had made against the Tigers, no more than 2 earned runs in any of those starts. He has given up 3 here in this game.
Well, Lloyd McClendon told me before the game that he wanted his guys to hit the fastball today, and they've done a very nice job of making him get that ball up.
Ball pelted to left field, and it's going to go over the head of Brantley. And Iglesias has a double.
They haven't missed any of his fastballs, partner. Hicks hit one at 94. Nico Goodrum, he hit a home run. That pitch was 94. And Iglesias just turned around one at 92. You lay off the breaking balls, you sit on the fastballs, and when you get that fastball, you don't miss it, and they haven't been missing them.
Nico says, yeah, keep it going.
Nico probably just wishing somebody had taken him and picked the stick. Been banging.
Carl Willis out again, another mound visit for Cleveland. Well, Carrasco had an easy 1-2-3 first, but Tigers got 2 in the third and now here in the fourth. 3 extra base hits in the fourth inning.
Looks like there's some movement down in the Tribe bullpen. Here's some numbers on the home run off the bat of Nico Goodrum. Exit velocity 103. The launch angle, how about that? 34. And the projected distance 391. Whenever you get an exit velocity of 100 or more, and you have that launch angle of 30 degrees or more, it's going to be a homer. Even here at Comerica Park.
Fly ball center field shallow, and Allen coming on and make the catch. Yeah, because Nico hit that ball around the triangle out there in right center.
Right.
And that ain't easy to do. 2 away. He's going to bring up Mikey Matzuk. Mikey reaching on the fielder's choice. He stole a bag in the third. Couple of hits, couple of RBIs yesterday in the win over Seattle.
And bottom of the Tigers batting order, getting it done again. They have 5 hits today. 4 of those hits have come from the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the lineup. As Simo likes to call them bottom feeders.
Strike 1 on Matzuk.
What's a bottom feeder? Fish?
Like a catfish.
Yeah, it hangs out the bottom.
Yeah. Hang out the bottom, scoop up all the food from the. It's just getting bad. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Strike call. 0-2 now on Matzuk. Well, Mike Fiers enjoying the bottom feeders. 7, 8, 9 with a homer, single, double, single.
And he has done a very nice job of keeping a very hot offense at bay so far here today. Tribe offense came in hot. Lots of lazy fly balls today off Tribe's bats against Fires. Very few outs made on the ground. Only 2 ground ball outs today recorded. Everything else in the air or strikeout.
An Indian team that came in with 24 home runs in May, most in the majors. 88 overall, most in the majors. And a home run by Ramirez early gave him a lead, but it's been all Tigers since. The 0-2. Strike 3 called. Mata can't believe it. Fourth strikeout of the ball game for Carrasco. However, Nico drove one deep to right center. 2-run shot, 3-1 game. The offense had some bite as well. The Tigers with a 2-run homer from Nico Goodrum take the lead 3-1. And we are headed to the 5th inning now. Mike Fiers goes back to work. He's got the bottom 3. Gomes, Allen, Geyer. Fiers spins one outside, 1-0. A 1-2-3 fourth in which he threw 11 pitches, so the count for Fiers in good shape. He's had a couple of 1-2-3 innings.
And one of the things that's kind of helped Mike in the contest here so far is the fact that he's 11 of 16 in first pitch strikes, and that really allows him to, after he's able to get ahead, he can go to one of the other 3 pitches. He can go fastball up, he can go splitter, change down, or he can use that breaking ball at a couple of different speeds to keep the Tribe batters off balance.
1-2.
There's that fastball, 88 miles an hour. And sometimes you know it's coming, and the spin rate on it just doesn't allow you to catch up to it. Just a tick above the belt buckle, hitter swing right underneath it all night long. Yeah, I was in the studio when you guys had him on the air that last game in Texas, and I about fell out of my seat when he said he was a power pitcher.
I know, and he was explaining it, and I thought, he didn't really just say that, did he? But the way he explained it, it made sense. Oh, look out, that one got away. That hook at 70 miles an hour. 3-2.
And go ahead and throw that fastball, get it up in the strike zone. Go ahead and get yourself another lazy pop up to the outfield. They haven't been able to lay off of it.
Swing and a miss, even better. A strikeout of Gomes. Well, Craig Monroe's favorite player as a kid was Ken Griffey Jr. So it's only appropriate that his dog is named
Ken Griffey Jr. His name is Griffey, guys. Yeah,
nice.
His name is Griffey. And we're hanging out here at the Bark at the Park, excuse me. And there is a lot of dogs. I've seen a bunch of dogs. I'm talking anywhere from Rockwallers to my favorite English Bulldogs. Griffey's met some new friends, so we're just kind of hanging out, enjoying. And there's a bark there. They're barking. They're having fun.
Hey, C. Hey, Simo.
Hey, now I hear you.
Where's your you got your scooper? You got your scooper down there?
I do. Right. Ain't that fancy? Check that out. I got a bag.
All right, just checking.
Hang on the leash there. Yes. Yes.
Now, what kind of dog is Griffey?
Griffey is a lab and pit mix.
Nice.
17 weeks old.
That's it?
That's it. He's going to be big.
We used to have a dog named Griffey as well.
Well, why did you name your dog Griffey, Rob?
Rachel. Rachel named him after Ken Griffey Jr.
See there? Yep. Great minds think alike. That's why she's my girl.
Griffey's got some vittles right now. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Allen. There's a foul straight back. We'll get Griff some water over there and take care of all those dogs up there, Simo.
Well, he's going to get some water, but he's also getting a bunch of treats. Everybody's up here is extremely nice. Dog owners are always nice anyway.
Outstanding. We'll check back in with Craig Monroe's out there with Griffey at Bark at the Park Nights. The 1-2 is outside. 2-2 on Greg Allen.
And let's see if McCann calls for that fastball up again. It's been such a great pitch for him all night long.
Sliced foul.
With a split change there to Allen.
Brandon Geyer will be next. Tigers took the lead on the 2-run homer by Nico Goodrum. Just missed. 3-2 now on Allen. Fires now at 70. Swing and a miss. Allen goes down, and there are 2 gone.
And Fires has punched out the first 2 batters of the 5th inning. He got Gomes on a fastball up and came back with a 2-seam fastball as well. They're tailing away from Allen to get the strikeout. There's all the pitches to Allen. Variety of different speeds. That last one at 82.
4 strikeouts now for Mike, and that'll bring up Brandon Geyer. He curls one in, but low. 1-0. Geyer fly to center field. That was back in the 3rd. Indians without Bradley Zimmer, who is banged up. They're a very talented center fielder. He ran into the wall the other day.
I haven't seen many of those walls lose those battles when the outfielders decide to run into him, and he hit that wall violently too the other day. They got to somehow slow Bradley Zimmer down a little bit, man, if they're going to keep him healthy.
Grounded towards second and scooped up there by Machado. And 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. How are the Tigers able to get Carrasco? We'll show you when we come back.
Carrasco, and all of them have been against that fastball. 95, 94, 92. It really doesn't matter. Every time he's thrown something straight and it's been up in the strike zone, the Tigers have had a really good swing at it.
4 fastballs, 1 curve on the hits allowed tonight by Carrasco. Cosma had a nice at bat in his last turn in the 3rd. He ended up grounding a ball to 3rd to score a run. 0 for 2 in the ball game for Cosma.
And getting his 2nd straight start at 3rd base now that Jeimer Candelario has been placed on the 10-day disabled list with that wrist injury.
Chopper to 2nd, and Kipnis has it there. 1 gone. Well, back by popular demand, 2 more Bark at the Park nights have been added to the schedule. July 5th when the Tigers take on the Rangers, and Monday, August 13th, the Tigers take on the White Sox. If you'd like to purchase your Bark at the Park ticket package, go to tigers.com/bark, of course. Here's V-Mart.
V-Mart can still turn on a real good fastball.
Victor got himself ahead in the count 2-0 in his last at bat. They ended up walking him intentionally. One ball and 1 strike on Martinez, who is now 0 for his last 14, trying to break that mini slump.
Victor was hot as a pistol at the beginning of that road trip. First couple of games in Kansas City and in Texas, first game or so.
It's been kind of a streaky year. He's had some bad stretches, some really good stretches. Came in tonight with a batting average of .233. He has knocked in 18 runs this year. Here's the 1-2. Kipnis out on the grass in short right. You've got Ramirez as the only player to the left side. Three and 2. Don't clap too hard there, Nick. Chop foul. Big swing there by Martinez. Carrasco last year was money down the stretch for them. You talked about that long winning streak they had. He was 6-0 with a 1.27 ERA in his final 7 starts of the year. The Indians again getting into the postseason. Many thought they would get to the World Series. There's a ground ball at the middle indoor. Spinning and throwing him out. And there are 2 gone. That'll be a 6-3 ground out. And it brings up James McCann. Back with a walk and a strikeout. McCann had his 10-game streak ended in yesterday's ball game. Tigers have been so banged up that McCann has been elevated to the cleanup slot. He hit cleanup of the ball game yesterday, was 0 for 4 in that contest.
And even when he doesn't catch, he's usually the DH or something. Good fastball count here for James. He let it go. Might have thought it was a tad low.
Popped up. See if it stays in play. First base side for Alonso. He's under it, and Carrasco has a 1-2-3 inning. Lindor has been red hot. We'll show you why when we come back. Sixth inning. Here is Chevrolet's most dependable player. It's going to be Francisco Lindor, who during his 14-game hitting streak has been on fire.
I mean, seriously, man, how hot can you be, man? 16 extra base hits. I mean, 8 doubles, 8 home runs, 15 RBIs, and 19 runs. And look at the OPS down here. Over 1,500. That's ridiculous how hot he's been.
And to give you a little bit more information and background on that, 30 hits in his 14-game hitting streak. It's ridiculous.
That sounds like some stuff that Tony Gwynn used to do without the homers.
Fires, though, has him 0 for 2 tonight, and a swing and a miss.
Good pitch. Yeah, he's got him twisted up a little bit. He'll go upstairs with that fastball. He'll go right back downstairs with that split changeup.
Lindor to be followed by Brantley and Ramirez, top 3 in the Cleveland lineup.
And I had a talk with James McCann before the game today, and I said, I don't want all your information because I don't want to spread all your business, but he pretty much told me they were going to live and die with that fastball upstairs today.
Spread all your business.
Yeah, I'll be done told somebody upstairs, you know what I mean?
Lindor launched that bat. 1-2.
Well, that's why they have that netting here now. Make sure everybody stays safe. And the fans are probably saying, no, we wish we could get that bat.
We want the bat. A little more stick 'em on there for Lindor.
Lindor wears the old school stirrups. Pants up high. Old school socks.
Fouled away. Indians beat the Royals yesterday 11-2. They won 2 out of 3 in their series against KC. They actually scored 9 runs in the first game of the series and lost. Their offense has been clicking.
I saw some numbers yesterday on Danny Duffy of the Kansas City Royals against the Tribe. In his last 10 outings, this is Danny Duffy. He is 0-7 against Cleveland. They beat up on him yesterday.
Here's the 1-2. Danny Duffy was signed to a long-term deal, too.
Yeah. He's not having a good year so far. But it's early.
Which always brings the question every year, when does it not become early anymore? When is it the time of the season where teams really start to worry?
Yeah, we're getting there. Around the time that calendar turns to June. And Jim Leland used to always say, the boys ain't even sweating yet.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been hot yet, and that was a barometer for Jim Leland. Once it got hot and the boys start sweating, that's when you want them to play good baseball.
He'll dive low. And now 3-2 on Lindor.
You don't want to walk him. And more than likely, he's going to go back upstairs with that fastball to see if he can get Lindor to chase it.
Driven to right field, but foul. Ooh, Lindor got ahead of that one by a touch. Otherwise, he hits it out.
Yeah, take a look at the location, though. McCann wanted the ball up. You see where McCann's glove is. Now McCann had to reach down, and that's the happy zone, the nitro zone of Lindor.
Swing and a miss. He went up top, and Lindor just could not lay off.
He is frustrating these guys to no end today.
5 strikeouts for Fiers.
He gave Lindor just about everything in a variety of different speeds. 89, 90, 74, 74, then went right back up at 90 again. The pitch looks so good coming out of Fiers' hand, and you just can't catch up to it.
Here is Brantley now with 1 out. Eight straight retired by Fiers. Brantley was the last man to reach a single back in the 3rd. The Tribe had 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, couldn't score.
And Fiers now has 5 strikeouts in this game, and all 5 of the strikeouts have come in the last 10 batters. This guy right here has a really sweet swing. He had to battle a couple of years of injuries, man, to get back to where he is today. It was a couple of years ago, him and Victor Martinez finished 2nd and 3rd in the MVP voting behind Mike Trout.
Yeah. The 1-2. Little pop-up shallow center field. Jones coming in. And Brantley retired. 2 gone.
Menards brings you the big money encounter. Jose Ramirez, he's the one responsible for the 1 run they've scored here today. But take a look at him climb the ladder and get on top of a 90-mile-per-hour fastball with a nice launch angle and hit it out of the ballpark for his 13th round tripper of the season. It's a real nice look there of a guy climbing the ladder to hit that ball.
.28 RBIs as well for Ramirez. Ball 1 high. You know, we're talking about Ramirez in his last at bat, how he is from Bani in the Dominican Republic, and he makes it a plan every year to go back in the offseason and hang out with the kids on the Little League fields there, because he was one of them years ago. Gives back to the children of the Dominican Republic, and they pretty much see him now as an idol with the way he has progressed through his career, and now one of the stars in the major leagues. He is ahead in the count here, 2-0. 3-0. Not too many have been able to lay off that pitch up.
It looks like Mike don't want nothing to do with Ramirez here. I can't blame him, though.
And there's ball 4. That'll stop the string of 9 straight retired, and that'll bring up Encarnacion now as the tying run. First walk of the ball game for Fiers tonight. Fly ball to left and a strikeout for Encarnacion. Ground ball up the middle, but they had him played nicely. Machado wins the race to the bag to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Has been elevated to the major league level, called up today as Jeimer Candelario was placed on the DL. And Lugo 285 this year with 12 RBIs in 33 games.
He came over in the JD Martinez deal from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Nice looking prospect the Tigers have in their organization.
In the meantime, here is John Hicks in the 6th. Tigers holding on to a 3-1 lead.
And Hicksy led off the 4th with a double in the right center field gap. Later came along to score on the home run off the bat of Nico Goodrum.
Missed again, 2-0. We're talking earlier about how the Indians have beaten the Tigers 11 straight times now, dating back to last year. It's been a streak the Tigers have wanted to end, and they're leading 3-1 tonight. The last time the Tigers beat the Indians, July 9th last year. Michael Fulmer did it. Warwick Suppold in the Tigers pen. There's a strike called, 3-1. Mike Fiers at 92 pitches. That is a season high. Suppold tuning now in the Tiger pen.
Looks like Fiers might be done. He's been getting some high fives down in that dugout. That's a good pitch right there by Cookie Carrasco. Fastball count, 3-1 slider. Real good pitch.
Hicks geared for the 3-1 fastball, and he got the breaking ball. There's a bouncer hit to second. Kipnis will spin and throw him out. 1 away.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch on Carlos Carrasco. He's touched 96 several times here today and has gone as low as 80 with an off-speed pitch.
Jacoby Jones, fly ball strikeout. Oh, 1 on Jones. Jacoby has settled into center field with Leonis Martin on the DL. Leonis said before the game today that he should be able to come back when he's eligible off the DL when the Tigers get to Seattle later in the week. 1-1.
And Leonis was doing a marvelous job at the top of the Tigers order. Lots of extra base hits, lots of multi-hit games, playing really well in center field. He was a catalyst.
Yeah. You know, you look at this Tigers team, you had Leonis get hurt and Jacoby takes advantage. You had Miggy get hurt, Hicks is taking advantage.
Right.
And Nico with Castellanos out.
And now Cosma, he's been balling since he's come up from the minors. 5 RBI.
Fly ball, right field, hit pretty good, but it's going to be playable and run down by Geyer, 2 gone.
And time for the DTE Energy Know Your Own Power. Nico Goodrum in the last couple of days has homered a couple of times. That one was against James Paxton yesterday of the Seattle Mariners. And then he got Cookie Carrasco here tonight for a 2-run shot, his 3rd of the year.
That is the difference in this contest right now, the 2-run homer. Oh, 0-1 on Nico. Carrasco hadn't allowed much since that 2-run homer, only a double to Iglesias. He's now retired 7 straight. If Carrasco gets this out relatively quickly here, they run him out for the 7th.
Yeah, it depends on what they do from an offensive standpoint. He's thrown so many pitches his last 2 outings that Terry might just leave him right around 100 here today.
And he's at 97 right now.
And he and Carl Willis are discussing that as we speak. It's a huge swing there by Nico on a changeup at 87.
Pulled on the ground, but gloved there by Alonso, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the 7th. Well, Mike Fiers did good work against the red hot top 3. How? We'll show you next.
Really have to be on top of his game to go after the top 3 hitters in the contest here today, and he has been all of that. Against Lindor, he got him out 3 times. Brantley has singled in the game, but he's retired him twice. And the 1 home run Lindor hit, and Ramirez, and he's retired him a couple times as well. So nice work today by Mike Fiers going up against those top 3 guys who came in sizzling hot in the month of May.
We showed you at the top of the show how hot they were, and Fiers kind of melted right through them. Alonso will lead things off against the new Tigers pitcher, and that'll be Warwick Soppold in the wall side windows change.
And Warwick pitching some pretty good baseball right now. Checks in with a 2.51 ERA. And league hitting .245 against the right-hander.
Alonso skies one in the air to left. Mikey Matuk back toward the warning track. One gone. We'll bring up Jason Kipnis. Fires goes 6, and so he will turn this one over to the bullpen. The Tigers leading by 2, trying to snap an 11-game losing streak to the Tribe. Ball 1.
$11 flyouts today off of Tribe bats against Tigers pitching. Fires had 10 of them. And Warwick with 1 off the bat of Alonso. Jimenez threw 28 pitches yesterday, Mario. You think he's good for the 8th today?
I don't know. I really don't know. He is tied for the league lead in appearances, and that's, we talk about over and over, one of the hardest things for a manager to do is manage that bullpen.
And you know, Gardy loves to get his guys right back out there after they've had an outing where they weren't as good as they would like to have been. And Joe wasn't great yesterday in his outing against Seattle. But I love the way the team kind of rallied around him and came back to win the game.
Jan Gomes will stand in after the 1-out walk to Kipnis.
Gomes is a double play candidate. And Warwick Soppold's got that real good 2-seam fastball at the bottom of the strike zone. He also has a nice slider at the bottom of the zone. And should he throw one of those, he'll hit it right at Iglesias for the 6-4-3 double play.
The Indians have only 3 hits in this game. Tigers have only 5, but they lead 3-1. And he couldn't hold up. Strike 1.
Gomes had a big day yesterday. He had 4 hits yesterday. He led the attack. And for the Cleveland Indians against the Kansas City Royals.
Almost hit for the cycle, did Gomes. Now it's hit safely in 9 of 11. Here's the 0-1. On a line to left field, Mikey going back, reaches and hauls it in. 2 outs. Tigers face the White Sox May 25th, the 47th annual Polish American Night. Special ticket packages are on sale right now, including a game ticket, exclusive Detroit Tigers Polish American hat, and a donation to the Polish Roman Catholic Union of America. For tickets, go to tigers.com/Polish. 2 away now for Greg Allen. Ball 1 high to Allen.
And you can't forget about Kipnis over at first base. If you're Soppold, he does have the ability to steal a bag. You don't want him to get into scoring position because you've forgotten about him. Give him a courtesy throw over just to let him know you're still thinking about him.
Runner goes, and it's bunted by Allen. Quick throw is going to pull him off the bag. Ooh, McCann fired it over there, but he yanked Hicks off the bag.
It's a nice play here by James McCann. Allen can really run. He grabs that ball and he throws it off balance. He pulls Hicks off the bag, and Allen's is safe. 3.5 seconds down the line right here on this play. That's flying.
Not sure it was off the bag. That is a bunt base hit. Tigers will not challenge. So there are 2 on now with 2 outs for Brandon Geyer. In there for a strike. Breaking ball 0-1 on Geyer. Fly ball, ground out in this game, 0 for 2. One ball, one strike. You got the top of the lineup, Lindor, waiting on deck.
I don't know if Buck Farmer will be good today. He pitched in both games of the doubleheader a couple of days ago, and he pitched in yesterday's game. So as well as Buck Farmer's been pitching lately, I don't know if he'll use him today.
That's going to go to the backstop, advance the runners. Wild pitch. Second and third down with 2 outs.
And James McCann had no chance at catching this. That's a slider that just really got away from him.
Here comes Chris Basio.
Well, they just want to make sure that they're clear here on what they want to throw to Brandon Geyer. They're going to go over the pitching report once again just to make sure that he knows exactly how they want to attack him. This is the first mound visit tonight for the Tigers. The Tribe have already had 2 mound visits.
Gabe Morales out there to break up the powwow now, and they'll chase Basio out of there.
I wouldn't give in to the strike zone here if I was Warwick Sapo. 2-1 count. Geyer's batting 159, but even a guy batting 159, if he is convinced that he's going to get a fastball, he can hit it hard somewhere.
Even with Lindor on deck?
I'd throw him a breaking ball here. I'm not worried about walking him. I want to strike.
Stump forming up. Swing and a miss.
Was an off-speed pitch. It was hanging, but it was an off-speed pitch. This slider just spinning, wasn't it? Got to throw a better one than that.
Geyer barely stays alive. Walk and a bunt single in this inning, and a wild pitch has put the tying runs in scoring position for the Indians. That'll get back out of play. Tigers this year have used a total of 20 different pitchers, and that is the second most in the American League, only to the Angels.
Yeah, we're still in the second week in May.
God, we're in May. Angels have used 21. Another foul back out of play. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Geyer is out of there. And the Indians leave 2 in scoring position. Coming up, the Consumers Energy. And Fox Sports feature the people behind the player. Learn more about all of the folks that support, encourage, teach, and inspire your favorite Tigers players. That's coming up tomorrow night beginning at 6 on Fox Sports Detroit. Iglesias hammered that pitch from Carrasco, but foul.
He is barreled up 2 already against Carrasco. He came in batting well above 300 against Carlos. And his first time up, he singled sharply. His second time up, he hit a bullet over the head of Michael Brantley, the left fielder.
So we've gotten the answer to our question. Carrasco is indeed out here for the 7th inning. That has popped up. Foul ground, right field line. Geyer, long run. He can't get it. He ran 1.5 miles and couldn't finish it.
He's calling it all the way. Right off the tip of the glove.
Kind of short-armed it at the end.
Yes, he did.
Carrasco thought he had an out. Single double for Iglesias. Machado to follow, and then Matuk. Chopper to third. Backing up on the hop, Ramirez. Nice play.
Let's take a look at the pitch by pitch at how Warwick Saupold got out of this jam last half inning. He fell behind 2-1 to Geyer. Then there was a visit by Chris Bosio. And then he came back and threw cutter after cutter after cutter, and finally locating one beautifully on the outside black to get him to swing right through it for strike 3. He did not give in to him every single pitch, away, 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 and Saupold loved it.
Great job by Warwick to keep it a 3-1 game. Here is Machado, and he looks at ball 1. Dixon a single and a fly ball to center. Two and 0.
Well, there's the answer to our question.
How about that?
After 28 pitches yesterday, Joe's ready to go.
2-1 now on Machado.
Joe also pitched on Saturday in one of the games of the doubleheader. He had a clean inning, though. It wasn't very stressful. So this will be the 3rd consecutive game that Jimenez has pitched in.
Tigers smelling a win. They will send their best out there in the 8th, who has been their best in the 8th inning this year. Jimenez.
He's going to have to go out to the top of their lineup, too. He's going to have to do some heavy lifting.
That's what you would call a high leverage situation.
That's right.
Very high. Soft line drive caught by Lindor. 2 gone. So Carrasco now has retired 10 straight.
He's going to be over 110 pitches again.
Tribe with some action in their bullpen. Marshall is the right-hander warming up. Evan Marshall. Mikey Matuk. Mikey is steal in this game. He's 0 for 3. Only 9 hits between the 2 squads, 5 for the Tigers and only 4 for the Indians. Fires a great job tonight. Saupold came on for 1, and then Jimenez will be coming on in the 8th.
And Rick Anderson, a watchful eye over Joe Jimenez in that bullpen. Former pitching coach for a number of years with Ron Gardenhire in Minnesota.
Two and 1. Third straight start now of 110 or more for Carrasco. 2-2. Pete Cosmo waiting on deck. Ground ball left side, base hit. Matuk is on with a 2-out single. He had retired 10 straight.
And it's a breaking ball. And Mikey hit it right between shortstop and third.
It's going to be it for Carrasco. He will fall 1 out shy of going 7 in this game, and he gives up the baseball. To the bullpen they go. We'll be back. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Here's some more pets from all of our crew here at Fox Sports Detroit on Bark at the Park night. Carlos Carrasco came close, but he couldn't quite finish off 7 innings. And now Evan Marshall coming out of the bullpen for the Tribe. Tigers have a 2-out single from Matuk.
And Marshall's got a fastball that will top out at about 95. His average heater, 93. He's got a curveball he throws about 18% of the time. And when not throwing those 2 pitches, he's got a pretty good changeup. He likes it. He pitches to the righties and the lefties with the change.
Cosmo's 0 for 3, an RBI ground out in the 3rd, tie the game up at 1 back at that point.
He was pitching some pretty good baseball in Columbus, and 0.84 ERA and 8 relief appearances in AAA for Marshall.
Should find the seats. Geyer coming over, runs out of room. Evan Marshall rather, out of Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas.
Well, that's where he lives. He was born in Sunnyvale, California.
Tigers assistant general manager from Wichita, Kansas, David Chad.
Former member of the Diamondbacks, Marshall. Soft line drive, base hit. Over the head of Lindor, and Cosma's on. It'll keep the inning going for Victor.
Cosma and Matuk and Goodrum and Iglesias, these guys just continue to get it done with every opportunity that they've been given. And while some of the Tigers players have been on the mend, Tigers need a big hit here, man. Need another couple runs.
V-Mart has been walked intentionally once. He is 0 for 2. Tigers now with 7 hits. Carrasco had retired 10 straight, and now 2 base hits for the Tigers. Swing and a miss.
Looked like Victor trying to hit one through the shift instead of maybe just taking what they're going to give him. And he's got some room here. He can go in that direction. Lindor playing right up the middle. He can go a little further up in that gap. Victor can drive the ball in that way with whenever he wants to. Looked like that first one, he was trying to hit it in the seats. Victor has real good career numbers against his former team, the team that he broke into the big leagues with, the Cleveland Indians. Spent several years there before being traded to the Boston Red Sox. Victor won a couple of batting titles in the minor leagues when he was playing for the Cleveland Indians, so he's always been able to hit.
One and two. Well, the Tribe bullpen at 5.26 has had their struggles this year. They are 3-10. Record not so much an issue as the ERA.
Like Victor getting loose. That'd be Victor Reyes to pinch run should Martinez reach.
Here's the 1-2. Ground ball into the shift. Kipnis back on the grass. Floats one over there to retire the side. Tigers strand 2. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Stick update.
Ooh, my goodness.
Oh, how about that?
Oh,
points
man.
Oh, it's about time.
Get that off the TV.
It's been
Just take it off the TV.
It's been a long, long time. My goodness.
Keats with a -1. How you doing there in the bottom row, Keats?
Well, I should probably get comfortable because I may be there for a while. We'll take a lovely little duplex out at the bottom level.
Yeah.
Take up residence there.
Well, let's see. There's still 2 innings to go. This could change here very rapidly. Here is Joe Jimenez now in a wall-side windows pitching change.
And it's a big outing here for Joe. He's going up against 3 hitters that have been hot coming in the month of May, although Mike Fiers really slowed him down here today. Joe's got to make some quality pitches, and more importantly, he's got to work ahead in the count. get ahead, and then expand the strike zone.
So Jimenez has been used extensively the last couple of days. We'll see how he does against the top of the lineup here. Lindor looks at ball one.
In the last 7 days, Jimenez has worked 4 times, totaling 66 pitches. On Saturday, that was one clean inning. I believe he struck out the side, didn't he?
I think he did, yeah. Well, he's gone 2-0 now on Lindor.
Tigers not waiting around, though. They've got double barrel action in their bullpen since should Joe struggle here.
Lindor trying to extend his 14-game streak. He is hitless. He's going to foul that one back out of play. Who we got? Coleman, the righty. Stump is the lefty.
Coleman was closing games for the Mud Hens.
Now the 2-1. Swing and a miss, man. Lindor. Ooh, that did not look like a very good swing. It looked like he hurt himself.
Second huge swing he's taken today. His hand slipped off the bat. I've seen guys really hurt their wrists when their hands slip off the bat the way his hand slipped off the bat. Wow, he got lucky.
Two and two on Lindor. Ground out, strikeout, strikeout. Belted to right field. It is down the line and foul.
James McCann was playing games with Lindor. He was patting the dirt and trying to deceive Lindor as to whether they were going to throw a breaking ball. And he threw that fastball up in the strike zone. Take a look at McCann playing games here with Lindor, patting the dirt. And then goes up top. I don't think hitters fall for that anymore. You pat the dirt and try to make some noise so they think that you want the ball down.
Maybe back in the day it might have worked, but yeah, I don't know about that anymore.
Hicks really guarding that line at first base. Nothing between he and that first base bag.
Popped up. Shallow left. Iglesias and Matuk. Mikey hauls it in. One gone.
Yeah, Lindor not happy. Couldn't lay off that fastball up. Popped it straight down. And then he sprinted out of the batter's box. Hopefully his hitting streak is over.
That'll bring up Michael Brantley. This is a prime example of how sometimes closers get all the glory and they get the saves and they rack up the big numbers, but in retrospect, when you look at a lot of these games, it is the 7th or 8th inning guy that a lot of times goes through the meat.
Yeah, he's doing the heavy lifting.
The 0-1.
Good pitch.
And now it's 0-2 on Michael Brantley.
Dropped a little slide piece in there on him at 85.
Single and 3 at bats for Brantley. Indians offense came in red hot. They've been limited to 4 hits tonight by 3 different Tigers pitchers. Fires, Saphold, and now Jimenez. Wave and a miss, and Brantley goes down on strikes. 97 from Big Joe. 2 gone.
A very nice pitch sequence here by Joe Jimenez to Brantley. Threw him a slow breaking ball at 86, and everything else was in the mid-90s, finally finishing him off with a 2-seamer that tailed away with some high velocity at 97.
That is 7 strikeouts now for Tigers pitching. Ball 1-2 Ramirez. Homered fly ball and a walk. Ramirez thought it was a skosh outside. 13 home runs on the season now for Ramirez. He has accounted for their only run in this game. One and two. Indians came in with the lead in the American League Central Division, but a very slim one. One game over 500. Minnesota game and a half back. Tigers for 3 outs.
And Minnesota's been playing the best baseball in the division the last couple of weeks.
Little chopper right side for Machado. Oh, he booted it. And Ramirez is aboard. Rushed it and a 2-out base runner.
That's exactly what he did. Ramirez can get down the line. Dixon came in with, and going to play this ball off to the side. Looked like it took a little tricky hop at the last second there, but he should have probably tried to play that ball in front of him. Dixon upset with himself.
First error of the game for either team. Now it keeps the door open for Encarnacion.
Yeah, they play him to pull on the infield. That's exactly where he hits most of his ground balls. They play him straight up in the outfield.
Fly ball right field. Hit pretty good. Goodrum going back. He has room. Can't get it. Over his head. Ramirez coming around. He will score. It's going to be a double and an RBI for Encarnacion.
What a costly error. My goodness. Come on, Joe.
Encarnacion with his 22nd RBI. Now it's 3-2.
Encarnacion is a dead pull hitter. Very seldom does he hit anything the other way, but that ball was on the outside part of the plate, and he got it out there. It looked like Nico had a beat on it and just wasn't able to make the play.
It's going to be it for Jimenez. So with Alonso, the lefty, coming up, they want Daniel Stump out of the bullpen. We'll be back 3-2.
Gardenhire while on the mound making the pitching change, and Dixon Machado, the only infielder that did not go in. He is still stewing over that error. You know, it's driving him crazy right now. That's okay. Just ask for the ball to be hit to you again, Dixon.
Rajay Davis will pinch run. He is the tying runner at second base, running for Encarnacion.
if you're stumped, don't concern yourself with Rajay Davis at second base right now.
Alonso pops it up. That'll get him out of the inning as Iglesias hauls it in. One pitch to retire the side. One-run game. Big out from Stump. There's Joe Jimenez who said, nice work, Daniel.
Stump also liked the work that he had just done. One pitch. And Ron Gardenhire over there patting Dixon Machado on the back, telling him that's okay. Don't worry about it.
It'll be McCann, Hicks, Jones here in the bottom of the 8th. 3-2. Tigers involved in yet another one-run game. Mack is 0 for 2 with a walk. Ball one low. Tiger closer is warming, Shane Green. Marshall came on to get the final out of the 7th. He is back out there for the 8th, and he slings one outside, 2-0. Greeny will have Kipnis, Gomes, and Allen due up. That's the trio that he is scheduled to face.
And Greeny got the win yesterday when the Tigers walked off the Seattle Mariners in the bottom half of the 9th inning after pitching a clean top half of the 9th inning in a tie game.
Three 3-0 on McCann. Tigers trying to rebuild their lead. And he'll look at a strike, 3-1. Carrasco retired, 10th and last 11 that he faced for the Indians before Marshall came on in the 7th. 3-2 on McCann. First of 3 between these two squads before the Tigers hit the road out to Seattle and Minneapolis for the next road trip.
Our first look at the Minnesota Twinkies. Have we seen them yet?
No, we haven't seen them yet. And we're done with Baltimore, right?
Yeah, done with Pittsburgh.
We're done with Pittsburgh. We'll be done with Seattle before we even see a divisional opponent. He walked him inside. Ball 4. So what's going on tomorrow? Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Wallside Windows.
And looking forward to Francisco Liriano going back out there. He was under the weather in his last outing in Texas, and you can kind of tell from the word go in that game. 3-1 with a .335. He's pitched really good baseball. On the other hand, Tomlin's given up a lot of home runs this year. As a matter of fact, he's given up more home runs than any pitcher in the American League.
It's going to be our special telecast. People behind the player tomorrow will learn who a lot of these Tigers players were influenced by coming up in their careers, whether it's family, friends, coaches. Way inside, and Marshall now has gone 1-0 on Hicks.
Marshall can't command that two-seam fastball that he's featuring.
Double and a run scored in the 4th inning for Hicks. He is 1 for 3. Missed again, 2-0.
Hit it out of here, Mr. Hicks.
Can't throw a strike. 3 balls, no strikes on Hicks.
This might be his last batter. If he walks him, Terry's not going to stand for this. Not in a one-run game.
Now the 3-0. In there, a strike call, 3-1.
And John Hicks has got that little 93, 94 mile-per-hour fastball timed perfectly now. He's seen 4 of them already. All of them the same velocity.
Zach McAllister is in their bullpen.
If he throws him another one at 93 or 94, he's going to barrel him up.
And he missed outside. That is ball 4. 2 on now and nobody out. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for more details. Terry Francona says, get me nobody out, and well, I will tell you this much: Mike Fiers again, very good right in this ball game here tonight, and he gave his team a chance to win, but beyond that, he slowed down a really good Cleveland offense.
Man, I just love the way he went about his business today. Fastballs up, lots of lazy fly balls off the Tribe's bats, breaking balls, change-ups down. Really slowed down Ramirez. Ramirez with the 1 solo home run. Nico had a good game. It's a lot of positives lately out of these Tigers team.
Also, Ramirez with a home run early, as you mentioned, gave them a quick lead, but the Tigers did not fold. Nico Goodrum's had some great at-bats, and, well, Tigers have themselves a lead right now, trying to finish this thing off.
I'm thinking Jacoby might be up here bunting, especially the way that Nico Goodrum's been swinging the bat. He's got some room down at third. I don't know if Ramirez is not thinking that he'll bunt in that direction, because Alonso, he's definitely expecting to bunt here.
Ball one high from McAllister. Wall side windows. Pitching change, 17th appearance for Zach.
Zach much better than the 736 earned run average that he's featuring right now. He's got a good arm. His fastball's 96 to 97. He was a starter, now pitching out of the bullpen most of the time for Terry Francona.
Well, Marshall couldn't throw a strike, and now McAllister has come out of the pen 2-0. Walks to McCann and Hicks.
And Terry Francona used Andrew Miller yesterday in a game for 1 inning. And the Tribe were winning 11-2 at the time, but he just wanted to get Andrew some work. And had Andrew not pitched yesterday, I'm sure he might be entertaining the thought right now of having Andrew Miller in this game down by 1 run. But he has to bring him back slow, Andrew Miller. Can't be that hybrid reliever he has been the last couple of years until he gets that hamstring 100%.
Jacoby chasing up top at 95 miles an hour. 2-2.
Yeah, you're not going to catch up to 95 up top.
Nico Goodrum waiting on deck. Tigers were absolutely shut down by Carrasco after the 2-run shot by Goodrum in the 4th, but they are threatening here in the 8th. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Reach back for 96 there.
And Nico Goodrum had the biggest hit in this game. It came against Carrasco. It was a few innings ago. It was 1 runner on base. It's a 2-run shot. It's a fastball at 94 in the first row right over the out-of-town scoreboard. Big knock, 2nd consecutive day he's homered.
So Goodrum, who now has 3 homers on the year, will stand in. And he looks at a strike, 0-1.
And we told you about the arms that they have in their outfield. It should be no problem for James McCann to score. Should Nico Goodrum get a hit into the outfield. None of the outfielders have above average arms.
Tigers 7 hits. Indians have 5 hits in this game. Not a whole lot of offense to speak of. Fires and Carrasco, the starters, have since departed. Inside, 2-1.
Every last fastball that McAllister, every pitch he has thrown in this inning has been a fastball. He's thrown 9, all of them been 94, 95 miles an hour. No off-speed pitches as of yet.
Way outside, 3-1. Indians bullpen came in ERA-wise 14th out of 15 teams in the American League. Now Nico's sitting pretty here, 3-1.
Get him, Nico.
He tried. He had a rip. And he fouled it straight back. You find yourself, Ron, you got a battle when you're up 2-1 or 3-1. You know it's a fastball count, and just trying to stay within yourself and not overswing.
Well, sometimes, Mario, you can let it hang out, you know, in a particular situation. But in this particular situation, with a runner on second base and you desperately need that one run, you should be a little bit shorter in a 3-0, 3-1 count if you're swinging.
Swinging a high drive, deep right field, back to the track, to the wall. Nico has done it again.
Oh, Nico!
A 3-run homer to break it open late for the Tigers. I want to change my pick the stick selection.
That's the second consecutive day nobody's taking Nico. That's a shame.
2 home runs for Goodrum. He gave the Tigers an early lead, and now he gives them some padding at the end of the game.
Every last pitch that McAllister has thrown since coming into the game had been that little fastball at 93, 94. Nico had seen 5 of them, and on the 6th one, he timed it perfectly. That's why Ron Gardenhire fell in love with Nico Goodrum in spring training. He can play all the positions on the field, and he's got power, and he's got speed.
What a night for Goodrum. 6-2 Tigers. Meanwhile, McAllister can't throw strikes either. That's 3-0. Been a good night for Iglesias. Single, double, run scored. And he walked him.
Let's go back to the Nico Goodrum 3-run home run. Boy, real short step. Got underneath it and crushed it. Another one of those 34-degree launch angles. This one left his bat at 106. And it went a few feet further than the home run that he hit a few innings ago.
Five walks tonight for Tribe pitching. Nico Goodrum, the man of the hour. Goodrum with homers in the 4th and 8th.
Carl Willis, Tribe pitching coach, man, he's going to ice his hamstrings after this one. He's worn a path out there to the mound tonight.
Well, based on the numbers, I have a feeling he's done that all year.
This Indians bullpen, man, in 2018, 28th in the majors at 5.26 ERA. That's not the bullpen that has allowed them to get to the postseason the last 2 years.
Machado batting here, still only 1 out. Dixon on base once, a single in 3 at bats. Ball 1. 17 pitches now for McAllister. 10 have missed the strike zone. 0-2. Two walks started the inning by Marshall, and then McAllister came on. 1 out. He gave up the 3-run homer to Nico Goodrum. In there now, 2-1. Drilled towards center field. Allen coming over, sliding and making a terrific catch. Will be the second out of the inning.
Allen took the wrong route to get there, but he was able to make the play with his speed. First 37 career games for Nico Goodrum, 2 home runs and 5 RBI. And tonight, he has equaled that. How about that? Can't make it up.
Well, now with 2 outs, here is Mikey Matuk. Runner goes. No throw. Iglesias diving into second with a steal. This Cleveland bullpen has been behind literally on every batter, it seems. Iglesias, a jersey full of dirt.
Yeah, he got some dirt in his britches.
Take a few extra beats to try and clean it out there. It's one of the downsides of sliding in head first.
Yeah.
The 1-0. High strike on Matuk. Another fastball from McAllister, mid-90s. Tigers, by the way, now have homered in 8 consecutive games. This is the first multi-homer game for a Tiger player this year. So again, the fill-ins doing some really good work. Fouled away.
Well, they had James Paxton beat yesterday. Eventually, they came back to win the game, but he took a no decision, and today it looks like they might be able to tack a loss on Carlos Carrasco. He hadn't lost a game all to the Central Division in a long time. Where's that note that I saw earlier on Carrasco?
Well, it's going to take a monumental comeback tonight for the Indians down to their final 3 outs. 2-2 is swung on and missed, and Matuk is out. It'll retire the side, but a big blow in the inning. Thanks to Nico Goodrum, the Tigers have extended the lead. Kaboom! And it's 6-2 Detroit.
I have this sort of twisted mind, this masochistic personality, I have computed that had anybody picked Nico Goodrum in Ram Pick the Stick, that would have been worth 15 points.
That just hurts for me.
15!
That hurts for me to even hear that, Keating. But listen, give this young man a lot of credit. He's not an everyday player, guys. He's a bench player. What he's done tonight is truly special. I will explain all of it to you on the postgame show, John.
15 points, Mario.
15 good points.
Keating, why do you do that?
I'm the only one that really needs them.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true,
Roger Callum. No. That is not true.
You dropped it,
anybody but in Pemba.
Call up my full name.
ABI.
Dude, stop the ABI, man. That's just a rip-off of my ABK. Here is Shane Green now. And Greeny will try and shut this one down. It is a 6-2 ball game.
No longer a save situation for Shane Green, but nonetheless, like to get him out 1, 2, 3.
Kipnis comes to Allen here in the 9th. Jason Kipnis is 0 for 2. He had a walk in the 7th. Slapped in the air to center field. Jacoby is on the run. One gone.
Man, that is a lot of lazy flyouts today. A lot of lazy flyouts off the tried bats. At least 12 or 13 of them.
It'll bring up Johnny Gomes. Jan Gomes. Johnny Gomes still playing?
No, he's not playing anymore.
Oh, actually, he's an analyst for Boston broadcast.
Is he really?
Yeah. Good old Johnny Gomes. Jan Gomes lined out in the 7th. He is 0 for 3. 2 more outs for Shane Green to get here, and the Tigers will take game 1 in this series. It's in there, strike call. Oh, and 2. Well, the Tribe bullpen got themselves in trouble here tonight because they just couldn't throw strikes. 2 walks to start the 8th, and then the Goodrum home run scored both of those walks. Flared foul. Fires started Suppold in the 7th, Jimenez and Stumpf in the 8th, and Green here in the 9th. One and 2. Tigers 2 outs away from gaining a game on these Indians. Minnesota playing host to Seattle in a makeup game tonight. Seems like everybody's playing makeup games or doubleheaders.
Yeah.
Just off the plate, 2 and 2.
That guy's all into it.
He is, man. He's got his helmet.
Yeah, he does. Old school helmet.
Yeah, no face flap for him.
It's the kind of helmet Big Wheel used to wear.
That's right. Swing and a miss. 2 gone. Gomes is out of there.
Good slow breaking ball he was able to finish him off with. Just spun it up there. Gomes swung right underneath it.
8 strikeouts for Tigers pitching tonight. 1 more to go. Yeah. Greg Allen is the last chance now for the Indians. Ball one. In the air to right field. Goodrum is on the run, still going, not going to get there. It's up against the wall, and Allen is going to head to third. And he's going to make it. It's going to be a 2-out stand-up triple. His third hit tonight.
Allen filling in for Zimmer, who's on the well, I don't know if he's on the disabled list, but he's not playing here today, but he's doing a nice job in his absence. Bradley Zimmer. Took him just under 12 seconds to get to third base, and he slowed down just a little bit before he got there.
Here's Brandon Geyer. Throws him, strike one. Geyer struck out in his last at bat. Top of the order, Lindor waiting on deck. Nico Goodrum the start tonight with a pair of home runs. Spins up a breaking ball inside, 2-1 on Geyer. Low ball three. But Greeny wants to go right after him here. You got the top of the order. You got Lindor, and then Brantley and Ramirez. Don't want to deal with those guys.
No, you do not.
Let Geyer hit it. 3-1.
Yeah, throw it right down the middle. Let him hit it as far as he can.
Let him do it.
To center field.
Preferably.
Yeah, they might as well go ahead and pop up one more time today.
Here's the 3-1. Ooh, he walked him. Ball four. So that'll put 2 on with 2 outs. Then I want to walk the number 9 hitter, and now you got to deal with Lindor.
And now Lindor has another opportunity to extend his 14-game hitting streak.
The Indians are 1 base runner away from bringing the tying run to the plate. Lindor with that 14-gamer on the line will get another shot. He's 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts tonight. A few battles between these two. 2 out of 5 for Lindor. And he curls one in for a strike. Oh, and 1 on Lindor. Runner goes from first and it's lined to center field. That's going to drop, base hit. 1 run scores. Geyer will go to third, and the Indians now will bring the tying run to the plate.
That's the best swing that Francisco Lindor has taken all night. He had punched out a couple of times on fastballs up. He'd been taking huge swings with the 8 home runs in the month of May. Looked like he was trying to hit homers all day, but this swing was really short and quick, and he got on top of it and hit a seed right back up the middle.
Well, Lindor is given another chance to extend his hitting streak. He has done that. It's at 15 in a row now. And Chris Basio coming out. Brantley is the tying run at the plate. Greeny got the first 2 outs of the inning, a fly ball and a strikeout, but then the triple by Allen to the gap. And maybe the key hitter right now, the walk to Brandon Geyer, the number 9 hitter, would turn the lineup over. So here is Brantley. Single and 4 at bats.
And no doubt Chris Basio went out there with a message for Shane Green as to how he wants him to attack Brantley. The last couple of hitters, he has started both of those guys off with slow breaking balls at about 82 miles an hour. Strike 1 is imperative.
And there it is.
And now you can see if you can get Brantley to do something that he doesn't do very often, that's chase.
Boss getting on the phone, alerting the bullpen. Somebody needs to get up. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Brantley.
Good slider. First pitch fastball, 92, down at the bottom of the strike zone. Next pitch, outstanding slider.
They've got to reduce to a strike here if they can get it. The 0-2 missed. Little bit low. 1-2. Coleman warming again in the Tigers pen. He was up earlier. Shane now at 21 pitches. Missed again. 2-2.
He's thrown Bradley 1 fastball and 3 sliders. And Michael now sitting on the fastball. He knows that he doesn't want to go 3-2. So the fastball must be located here. Staying away from Michael.
Ground ball, speared at first by Hicks to end the game. Tigers hold on to win 6-3. Now we send you to the Coliseum Studios. John Keating, Craig Monroe standing by with Tigers Live postgame.
Mario, it's the theme of the season. If it was easy, it wouldn't be as much fun. This one had some hair on it at the end, but the Tigers squeezed it out to win it by a 6-3 final. Thanks to 2 home runs from Nico Goodrum. You'll hear from him when Tigers Live gets going. Craig Monroe and myself just around the corner here on a Monday night downtown.